Alright, good morning gamers. You can see my green cursor here, and in the background we have DE Mills Early Access Playlist Build version 1. Okay, DE Mills by Catfood. This video is long overdue, probably a week or so. Map is set in Netherlands, beautiful Netherlands. I miss it so much. We played this map, I think it was last week. Did 6 games back to back to back. And I played 2. And I don't have that much feedback as the map layout is starting to, you know, the map feels very solid. Let me make a little point about the general layout, and I got my green M4 of judgment here, so let me have a couple words. Layout, okay. DE Mills is a great example of a large layout that works because it has been laid out in the correct way that you can utilize the space with the timings of the game mode, okay? What does that mean? It means that the pathing takes time to run through to the point of interest, but it doesn't take too much time for the other routes to be unviable later in the round. We playtested yesterday a map that had this issue that once you went to an area, then you would have to commit to it, since the pathing away from the main bomb site entrance was too far away, and you would have just had to, like, you know, return a long way to into another area of conflict. Mills also has like this sort of dynamic where a bomb site is like kind of secluded from the rest of the map, but it's not too bad, since terrorists get this like top mid control here. So this lane is definitely like terrorist controlled. If this was easy for CTs to push like this, usually it's easy for CTs to smoke, but then again, like, CTs can get flanked from this tower of power connector, right? So this area really has like only one position, and then like back there for the CTs to take. So here it works nicely, as you have 2 paths. You can go there and you can go there to wrap around back to this area to fall back to mid, and then you can also go back from T spawn, these stairs up, and then over mid back to A. Sorry, excuse me, to B. So that's a little point. You have to make the pathing. If the timings don't allow for you to, you know, jiggle between these areas, then the pathing has to be made in the way that it's viable to do. Another point about this might be like this dynamic. If the terrorists are too fast in jiggling between the bomb sites, if there's no risk reward, if there's no risk into splitting bomb sites, if you can just go B, A, da, then that's going to make playing on the CT side a very, very, very dreadful feeling. It means that you have allocated players into one bomb site in the anticipation of a push, or it's just like a default defense. Now that means that any given moment, if the timings are too fast, that means that you are forced to then move a player around the map constantly between the bomb sites. And that's not very good Counter-Strike. I just don't think that, like, the rotations in the map have to be calculated based on information and, information and enemy player location, like, control, you know? And I think Mills doesn't have that problem, and it's a very, from that side of, like, from that dynamic of things, it's a very very concise map. It works. So I guess my feedback, like, from the negative side, like constructive criticism, would be in the intuitiveness of utility. Already we have a very open skybox. You can do a lot with the util. In the games, I didn't really like the instant, like, you know, grenade usage that was actually a pretty good smoke. Anyway, like when you're playing when you pop into the server, you're not really like realizing smokes like this or something like that from the get-go. And yeah, I just wish that there were like couple key locations where there was like a kind of an obvious, like maybe a pole or something, like a chimney that you could line up. I think this like definitely this middle smoke. Just landing a smoke here is like very vital for the tees. To split up the mid. It's a very simple smoke. You can do it, and it allows you to do a lot. Yeah, and then I feel like a couple nades got lost from these gaps. So that's like just like a minor inconvenience. Of course, you're trying to land your nade in a safe space, and of course in vertigo, you're not necessarily, you know, if you want to molly white or the free kill position on B bomb site, you're not going to like throw the nade outside of the map. You're going to aim it carefully. So I guess that's a very map specific thing. So I guess my criticism there is invalid, but still, maybe there's something that you could do. But then again, keeping this like, I don't know. Would it be too much to grenade clip this little gap here? I don't know. The B-bomb side. Okay. I know Catfood has had some of his own criticism towards this like pit area. And I don't know if I'm the best person to really speculate on how it will play. I don't have a strong opinion on it. Rather, my strong opinion is basically that it works, but it's a little bit too tight to do like this loop. So when you're retaking, doing this loop would be, you know, it's kind of vital for you to be able to do this. Without changing too much. Look at this face. Yeah, without changing too much, I like the implications of it being like jump spot position and then the wall bang. It's very nice. Maybe like one position here where you can like stand up. If this was like heightened a little bit, you could stand up on it. It's like giving this area a little bit more life, I guess. In the ways that you can play around it. I like that there's like a very hard long area to push past. Yeah, I don't really know how to make this area more viable. I guess it's just like giving like one or two more playing positions. But this is already like, you know, you get mollied, or like you get mollied here and you get smoked from there. There's so much space that this is a hard clear for the T's. Like they have to clear this position. There was some talk about a ladder here, but maybe that might be even too much. Yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion on this area. I think it's just, you know, queue for more playtesting. B main, it was under a lot of speculation about does it need more changes. I think it's a pretty fair enough of a gauntlet of utility being like ample opportunity for utility, and I like the suggestion of it being made even tighter, so that it will give more security for players like being in here. I just think that like when you're trying to fight the player inside, it's very hard to clear like this area as a CT. You have already like wasted your util here, and then later on here. So once there's a player over here, I think this distance is like too much to ask for players to clear here. But I think that dynamic is also like pretty a-okay, you know. But what this bomb site kind of does, it promotes players in playing like in the back areas, and I think it has to do how terrorists can, when they get to push here, the CTs will have to retreat. You cannot necessarily, when the T's have crossed to this side, you cannot play anymore here because there's such a division between this angle and that back far angle. Like the T's could be here and here. I think it has to do with how this wall is so sharp, you know? You have to overexpose, you have to clear. My feedback was to make this wall more wall bangable, but then we found out while I was giving the feedback that it is already like really wall bangable. So now knowing this, that might change. This might change everything. Yeah. I just really think that how B-side plays, it's so interesting. It's neither like bad or good. It's just a very different area, even though it's so simple. But the terrorist aggression moves so quickly, so close, and now you're like one little push away from the bomb site, and this is usually quite easy to get as a terrorist. And we saw some like very good utility usage from our dear Olivia throwing these. And yeah, sorry, that was my bad. Look at that go. Yeah, the smokes were definitely powerful, and our CT, there's the 0-13 game that we played. I don't know what the fuck happened. Can we blame the players? But yeah, definitely there was some troubles fighting against this. I think it was definitely just a game specific issue. Yeah, but it's an interesting thought now that the idea has been thrown out into the aether. We can definitely speculate on and playtest with that in mind. Like, how fast can terrorists gather momentum here, right? It's well, let me take a sip of my coffee. It's definitely quite interesting when you compare it to maps like Overpass Long, where terrorists can create quite a lot of space with just peeking it. Like, if a CT decides to play from, like, let's say that this would be like long, there would be the planter thing, and you're playing like boosted on top or from the side. Even if the terrorist just peeks from the rock position, like past playground, the CT has to now decide: do I risk it by peeking again, or do I just retreat back to A bomb site and give all the space for the terrorist to push? And here I think there's happening like some sort of a same-ish sort of dynamic situation, where CT peeking here, they have to decide: do I peek it again and risk for many terrorists being like outpositioned already and already like quite close, or do I just fall back to here and yeah, like try my luck again with the second retreated peak? Yeah, and I think it has to do also with how wallbangable this corner is. Like, it's the main CT angle, and you can get very easily wallbang from that. Maybe some support. I don't really know how you would make this like not wallbangable necessarily. Maybe like one of these with the metal. Yeah, but I definitely think that this has the same implications of Overpass Long, where you have to retreat from a further pushed position. Bomb site, there was some speculation also about opening up these to allow for one more retreated back position. I know it also would create a retake situation, but then giving an easy wallbang into the area, so that you could like imagine just a path going from behind here. It's not that much space actually here, so it might be kind of hard. Right. Yeah, but then again, giving an easy wallbang position for the CT's retaking to clear this back area could be kind of fun. But then again, like one more box back here you could play from. Maybe even just like Inferno A bomb side, like one of those like headshot crates. Maybe even one of those would make a world of difference. That would be this angle then. Look at that. That would be kind of nasty, maybe. Yeah. Maybe for retaking, actually, like here would be kind of an apple opportunity. That seems to be the word of the day, by the way. Like some sort of a double, like boosted angle here, just to aid in retaking. I think retaking has to be one of those things here where the T is peaking. This have to be in the like the CTs will have to have a kind of a hard high ground as they already have. But then again, you can be peaked from there, so you cannot utilize this for a double peaking. You can peak from back here and back here, but maybe another angle up here would be nice. Yeah. I think how this area ties in with the pacing of it. This area, like, you do have two angles, but you cannot utilize this angle when peeking into the bomb site because it doesn't really peak. But you have to, like, this is the fastest way to get into the bomb site. So you're more so using this angle to peek into the main retake angle. And I think that's very important to realize that there are two angles. But the reason why players are not necessarily using this back angle, because it's a little bit slower, and you have to take this, like, it's nicer to take the one that's closer up, so you can get a safer angle straight into the action. And also, there's so much to retake here. There's usually a smoke here, so you have to wait it out. You want to be able to push into the bomb site quite fast in the retake. You don't want to prolong the retake like that long, so you want to take the fastest route. So I think that might be the reason why this wasn't like utilized that much. Yeah. Jukebox. Alright, there's the flag position. Very beautiful. I think this area could be used for retaking a little bit more, but I don't really know how. A bomb site was definitely like this upper area. I think it has to do with the angle that you peek from. Like in my mind's eye, I think the issue of A bomb site right now is CT retaking and how samey it feels. There's always like someone playing from behind here. This is like very powerful. And CT upper, you don't really have cover here, so you cannot really push from here to get better angle. I don't know. It's hard to utilize this space when you're retaking, since it's so open. Don't really know how you would be able to add some cover that's not like that much use for like when you're playing main. But in the retake, it would be like way better. Maybe there's a way to angle some cover here, leaning on the railing. That would be like way better against the bomb site than it is the bomb site main. And generally, this the lighting on bomb site. Yeah, we spend an hour per person going over the fucking lighting issues, but yeah, definitely here. Maybe these could be turned up. I don't think the shadows would be like that much of an issue anymore. But yeah, definitely the lighting needs to be tweaked. Yeah, I don't have that much feedback anymore. I honestly think that the map is like pretty good, pretty damn good. Yeah, and I guess later on when we play the map more, there will be some minor grudges. There was some FPS issues later on. I mean, in the last playtest, because the map wasn't optimized at all, which is understandable. It's just a, first detail pass, I guess, and one thing at a time. But yeah, that's been feedback for DE Mills. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Catch you in a playtest or something. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Take care.